I'm going to drink some water and then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take these off of my bed. It's raining. I have to go to the post office tomorrow. I said to my mom today, "Hey Ma, do you think my car would make it if I drove to like Chicago this week? Or if I drove to like Indianapolis?" And she was like, "Why do you want to go to Indianapolis?" And I said, "I don't know. I just want to get out of this town for a day." But I don't know. She said, "Why don't you wait till the summertime and then you can go to Chicago with your sister?" And I said, "Hey, that sounds like a good idea." So I'll probably wait until my sister comes home from Texas and we'll probably go to Chicago and go see an art museum. Apparently, my stepdad lived in Indianapolis back in the 80s when he was studying for his, because he's a journeyman. He's a journeyman mechanic. He lived in Indianapolis in the 80s when he was studying for his journeyman's license. Because his trade school was in Indianapolis. I had no idea. I've known the guy for like 30 years. I had no idea that he lived in Indianapolis ever. He never told me. Something I never knew about my stepdad. My mom told me and I was like, "Oh, he lived in Indianapolis?" She was like, "Yeah." Oh. Do you want to see a picture of my my nephew? My stepmother's baby? My stepbrother had a baby. His name's Ezra. Oh, cute. They just had the baby today. I thought she wasn't gonna have it till tomorrow. I hope she's doing okay. Yeah. Oh. You're my baby. Larity. Yeah. I already gave you an extra feeding. You're the worst. We're going to turn this off. I gotta put my laundry away tomorrow, too. I gotta clean out the cat box. I'm just talking to myself. I gotta check and see if that person paid on eBay, too, so I can send them all my old journals. I finally sold all of my old journals up until this last year's worth. So I have no more journals to sell. They're all gone. I made $500 off of it though. Now they're just out there in the wild. Just old snapshots of me out there, just floating around in the ether. It'll be like 200 years from now. Someone will open up a trunk and be like, Grandma, what's this? Oh, that's an old journal that my grandmother bought on an eBay auction. What's eBay? Exactly. She was a collector of journals. She bought all sorts of journals. So these are just random people's journals? Yeah. Right, Larry? Well, exists somewhere in the public domain. I wonder if my journals will have any intrinsic value after I'm dead. If anybody will look back and be like, wow, these are like really good journals. Like these are like they'll be worth more than the $15 I originally sold them for. Like if they'll be worth like hundreds or thousands of dollars someday. Like if somebody sets them up for auction and they'll be like, this journal gets sold for $2 million at auction. Be like, wow, my writing was like worth something to someone. I don't know. You just think about stuff like that, you know. Not even for the value of like the fact of like who I was or anything, but just like the fact of like that it talks about like events or something, or like that it describes like slice of life in a time long gone, and that it's like in good condition, well written. I don't know, describes a certain condition. What do you think, Larry? It's raining. It's been raining all day. I didn't want to leave the house today, but I did. I was trying to get some reading done. I didn't get very much done. I did get some writing done today, though, which was good. I got some poetry done, and then I wrote a Substack. I wrote about the Decemberist song, Burial Grounds. And I compared it to Edgar Allan Poe. I compared it to Victorian literature and about how our society is death focused right now because of COVID. That the side effect of being in a post pandemic society has made us death focused and anxious, much like the Victorians. And so I was using that song as kind of like a reference point to someone like Edgar Allan Poe, who would spend lots of time in like cemeteries and stuff. And even like the rise of like gothic music again kind of shows us that we're in this kind of sulky you know Victorian-esque mindset of being death focused. So it's very, very fascinating to me that we're coming full circle around to these things again. But it's like we're going backward in time because the pandemic, the first, the last pandemic that happened before this was in the 1910s, 19, like the, and Victorian era was before that. So we're going backwards in history. I guess it's interesting. Um, yeah, very interesting mindset. Because after the pandemic in the 1910s, you had World War One, and then you had like the Roaring Twenties, which was like a period of like economic boom, and everybody was. But we're in the opposite. We're in a recession, and we're kind of like in the opposite, like we're emotionally depressed. So it's like opposite of opposite of that time. So it's interesting because we have like inflation out of control right now and a housing crisis and things like that. So this is more like the 30s than the 20s. Anyway, these are things that I think about. I don't know.